Inside the dungeons of Fear and Hunger, in a hidden courtyard, can you find the Bunny Mask, a cult dedicated to the worshipping of the goddess of love and fertility, Sylvian. They engage in ritualistic sex as a way to worship the goddess, a method that has dated back eons. Participants in the worship are seen to be in an almost hypnotic state, and it's hard to tell if the ritual is even pleasurable. Such a ritual does, however, provide benefits. Participating will reward you with the blessings of Sylvian, restoring your health, and increasing your affinity towards the old god, allowing access to powerful healing spells. But be warned, most who have taken part in the ritual do so till death. It is an eternal one. It's common to birth children during this rite. Dan, a doctor found during the Tamina festival, was created during such a ritual, though his parents were so entranced in their acts that they neglected the child. The effects of the worship can be experienced even more so when done in a ritual circle, allowing the birth of a beautiful marriage of flesh, a combination of souls. I go more into depth on such a process in a previous video. Traveling deeper into the dungeon, we can find the Wolf Mask in the mine. This cult is dedicated to the worshipping of the old god, Grogoroth, the god of destruction. Unlike the Bunny Mask, the Wolf Mask instead worship their god by engaging in a celebration of flesh, performing cannibalism and self-mutilation. Their hunger for flesh knows no bounds. They, just like the Bunny Mask, are often in a trance, in a state of constant consumption. Grogoroth blesses its participants with a full restoration of hunger and an increased affinity towards the old god, allowing access to powerful destruction spells. The Yellow Mages are yet another band that worship the god Grogoroth. Though unlike the Wolf Mask, they seek the knowledge and spells he can bestow, and are also followers of the new god Nashra, an immortal wizard. A new god who once held the great library as his own, eventually betrayed by his fellow gods and shunned by them, he now seeks vengeance. We encounter one such Yellow Mage in Osa, a mage that seems more friendly than the others, who tells of how their kind is slowly dwindling. Grogoroth gives his followers incredibly powerful magic, but nothing comes free. The Black Witches and Yellow Mages, while incredibly powerful, are physically fragile. They are but slaves to Grogoroth. Many don't know this one, but his presence can be felt throughout the dungeon. The god of the depths is a dormant one, a god who controls the very design of the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. As such, most of his followers originate from the very depths of the dungeon, being known as Forgotten and Forsaken. Many are insect-like creatures, like the Cockroach King, who assigns you tasks to increase your affinity with the old god, allowing access to spells that allow control over his subordinates. It is also suspected that the secluded population of the cave dwellers are among his followers. The god of the depths does, however, possess human followers. A group known as the Hermit Mages of the South were mages who could imbue rings with lifesteal. The blessings that the god of the depths bestows may not even be blessings at that. Those who seek his power will find themselves changed into mindless monsters. The mumblers that wander the thicket, the body snatcher found in the tombs, the butterfly found in the courtyard, of course, the most infamous of them all, the Crow Mauler. Once the captain of the dungeon and a respectable man, it has since changed him into a horrific bird-headed man, and one that is a force to be reckoned with, a creature I have detailed in a previous video. Not to mention the other numerous creatures that reside in the belly of the god, such as the Lizard Mages and the two-headed Crow Mauler. We can even find traces of Grogoroth in here, though how the traces got in here, or whether or not it even is his traces or just the player's imagination is unknown. This god is truly an enigma, his actions surrounded in mystery, but it's safe to say that his cult is only truly meant for those who embrace the darkness. Above the sky. In the depths, the spread of control of the trickster moon god Rir is vast, an old god who disapproves of humans ever reaching the heights of godhood, like one such man had done before. His servants tamper with the world in order to diminish the influence of the new gods. Pocket Cat, Lady of Moon, and Perkele carry out his orders, hunting for children that may be used as vessels for the creation of a new god. A mission that has failed before due to the meddlings of one such god called Nilvin, who had managed to trick the trickster god. After the end of the Second Great War, we see the schemings of Rir once again take shape with the Termina festival, spearheaded by his servant Perkele, one that promised the participating 14 contestants to fulfill anything they could ever dream of, to provide them an illustrious reality. The town of Priheval is scorched with Rir's moonlight, changing the people into horrific creatures, manifestations of their souls. We once again encounter Pocket Cat, a man as charismatic as he is loyal, if he is even the same man we once encountered in the dungeons. Still loyal to Rir, unlike another servant, he carries out his duties and offers you incentives for taking part in the festival, though he himself is unable to directly take part, his words being his only method of influence. And this rings true to all Rir worshippers. They cannot directly meddle with events. Rur is a god who gives the truth. Embracing his presence will grant you an increase in mind, though how much of that truth is actually real or warped in some twisted way to fit his ambitions is unknown. It's now time we talk about the last god, or should I say gods. Olmir is one of the most well-known and revered old gods. There are two stories present in the skin bindles that depict the origins of Olmir, while they both differ slightly. It is highly likely that both are true, and the real origins of Olmir is a mixture of both. Once a man in Jatiya, born of a new god and a virgin mother, he spread his teachings far and wide and united the people, gathering 12 apostles with him. But those in power felt threatened by his presence, so they prosecuted him and sentenced him to death via crucifixion. His soul will reach Mahabra, the city of the gods, while his mortal body was put to rest in the tomb of the gods. Performing necromancy on his corpse will give you a true taste of his power. He eventually ascended to godhood, returned back to earth, ended the tyranny with his apostles and established a new world order. Nothing much. Another tale states that he was designed by Vitruvia, who saw the imperfections of humans and vowed to create a perfect man, which he did. The story then progresses similarly. You can witness the influence of Olmir all throughout the world. He is depicted differently in each region. In Europa, he is commonly seen as a muscular, bald-headed Caucasian man, while in the eastern sanctuaries, his physique is more slender with long black hair. In the Vatican City, you can find a church of him, though it does hide some dark secrets beneath. You can also find statues of him in the courtyard and in the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. Da'as, a knight from Rondon, is also one of his followers, as well as the dark mages in the dungeons, who perform ritualistic sacrifice on a cross as part of their holy duty. Though these priests, and as an extension, Enki, are polytheistic and worship all the gods. Praying to a statue of Olmir will increase your affinity towards him, granting access to helpful utility spells like Blood Portal. There has been one piece of crucial information I've left out. When Olmir ascended to godhood, he had casted away parts of himself deemed unfit into the sulfur pits, birthing an ancient deity known as the God of Sulfur, a being of pure malice. The God of Sulfur is one of corruption. Sulfur followers revel in the Tamina festival. Berkeley, as we soon find out, has betrayed his original master Rur and has been corrupted by Sulfur, the true master behind the festival. His goal is to collect souls and recruit more members into the cult. Needles, Stitches, and the janitor are most likely Sulfur cultists, their identifiable features being the face markings. Killing and collecting heads is an enjoyable pastime for these cultists, and once you realize that, you begin to notice the numerous dismembered skulls and heads present all throughout Prihival, making it apparently clear that Sulfur's influence has corrupted the entire town. Remember the Church of Prihival, the one for Olmir? Well, that has significant ties to the God of Sulfur. The Crimson Fathers, Sulfur cultists that are found in the basement of the Church of Olmir, have an intense lust for blood, and interacting with them will get you some unique dialogue about visions of a one-eyed god that burned in sulfur, it says. Well, isn't that familiar? Olmir is a benevolent god, so why is it that effigies of him are depicted with an expression of rage and vengeance? Why does an Olmir ritual demand a sacrifice? Why is there statues of him holding a bundle of decapitated heads in the church? This is a church to Olmir, just his other side. The influence of Sulfur in his cult run deep. If you'd like to learn more about Fear and Hunger and its lore, check out some of my previous videos, and I'd appreciate you subscribing.